Hello to the Yuki playing public, I'm Noel, and the duel trial is on right now, but I'm bringing attention to this because Tistina is one of the loners, and God, what am I supposed to say? In case you don't know, this is the dual triangle, which means that you choose a team and you can only use either fusion monsters, link monsters, or Xyz monsters. And obviously, Tistina is in the Xyz section, which makes sense, of course. Verudrus is a very powerful card, Divinity is quite strong, and Gustav Max is our general finisher, but this opens up a very interesting door, which is this seems to be what Konami thinks Tistina should look like, and they are just so wrong. Look, this list is genuinely just baffling. So let's just go through it card by card. Now, 3 Fallen actually is the correct ratio of Fallen of the Tistina. It is an incredibly powerful card, but you may notice the card that it places, Divine Domain Batistina, is at 1. It's not at 1 in the event, it's not limited by game rules, it's just at 1. I genuinely cannot tell you why. If you want to play 3 Fallen, you obviously think that Domain is a very powerful card, but apparently not powerful enough to play at 3. 1 Return to the Tistina is also the generally correct ratio. It is just an engine requirement though, so there's not actually much to say about this. Moving on, we have 2 Terratop, 1 Takatomborg. Now, in TCG and in Genesis, we have moved on to playing the Radiant Typhoons, because any card except the MST gets you to every other card. So you don't need to worry about, oh no, I drew my Takatomborg, because if you draw your Swen, you summon the Swen, add, I believe it's Manifestation? Activate Manifestation, grab your Eldam, summon the Eldam, get your MST, there's your rank 3, and you didn't brick. But of course, those cards aren't in Master Duel yet. But Terratop has been at 3 for multiple years in Master Duel. I don't know if it even ever was semi-limited. So the fact that they only give us 2 is genuinely one of the most baffling decisions in this deck. Not like there aren't a lot of those. 3 Ash Blossom is correct. It is nice that they give you Ash because, while Maxi may be banned in the event, Fua is not, and the rest of the Charmies also are not. So it is good that they give you some amount of insurance against Charmies, and it is nice to just have some good, solid non-engine. Moving on, we have 3 Sentinel, 1 Hound. This is a generally accepted ratio. And then there's Eldritch. Now, Eldritch is a very curious choice for this deck because the reason to play it isn't available in this event. You send it off of Delta of Invitation, and then use Eldritch to send one of your other spell traps because Delta can only activate 1 per turn. Then you get to summon a Delta token, get rid of that for a, I believe, Fallen Angel of the Golden Land, and then put those into 1 rank 10. Problem with that is Fallen Angel of the Golden Land is a fusion, which means it's not available in this event. Beyond that, you can't actually use the Delta token in this deck. There's no links in the extra, so is the idea to just tribute summon Crystal God with it? I just don't understand. Moving on from the Eldritch, we actually have more correct ratios. 3 Demigod.
What if Demigod of the Tistina was called Freakygod of the Tistina and sucked toes and gave head? Shut the fuck up!
1 Crystal God, 2 Miasma. Unfortunately, is kind of a high number of quote-unquote bricks, but they are still good cards, and you do need to play Miasma Dragon and Crystal God, so more engine requirements along with the return. Then we get into the really, really rough section. 2 Raigeki, 1 Duster, 2 Lightning Storm. I cannot tell you how awful of a choice it was to put these cards in the deck, because 1, Tistina is not a blind second deck. It never really was. It was never very good at going second because, as you can see, the blind second tools that are given to us aren't good in the deck. If you destroy all monsters your opponent controls, that's a lot less face-up cards they control. If you destroy all spell traps they control, that might be like 1 or 2 less face-up cards they control for the domain, which we only have 1 of. Again, these could have been breakers that actually work very well for Tistina. Dark Ruler No More is a great example. Droplet is really good in the deck because if you put up a domain and it gets ashed, but you have Miasma Dragon in hand anyways, well, Droplet send the Miasma and trigger the miasma. Even moving on to a more Genesis adjacent card, Sinful Spoils of Subversion Snake Eye is actually really, really good for Tistina because it removes a threatening monster without changing the number of face-up cards your opponent controls. But we get Raigeki and Lightning Storm and Duster instead. I guess Konami thinks that Tistina is supposed to be an Extrav deck, which I can see. I mean, there is the interaction from Demigod and Crystal God, but you may notice a couple things that are missing from the list that would make this deck work better as an Extrav deck. Specifically, Discordance of the Tistina, which is just a decent enough Tistina card that probably should be in the deck, and weirdly enough, if you want to play it as an Extrav version, I think you might play the one copy of Embrace. Since you're aiming to end on the Crystal God Demigod interaction, well, you are flipping an opponent's card face down. That's not a bad interaction, and getting it in the end phase is also quite good. But for some reason, we don't get those more control-adjacent tools, and they instead want us to go second and OTK. We also have 3 Chaotic Elements, which is 3 extra copies of Demigod, and I will say, I have resolved the, not second effect, but the bonus effect of Chaotic Elements a couple times in my play of this event. It is a very strong card. The issue is that Demigod doesn't do anything on its own. I've already talked about how baffling a decision it is to only have one domain.
Elephant green screen effect.
Hey, Editing Noel here. I don't think I drove home just how disastrous the single copy of Domain actually is for the deck. It is, of course, your 1-card combo starter, so that means that you want to draw it, right? Now, because it's at 1, you have an equal chance of drawing Domain as you do of drawing Returned, Takatomborg, Hound, and Crystal God. You are twice as likely to open a copy of Miasma Dragon as you are to open a copy of Domain. I genuinely cannot and don't want to believe that they think that 1 domain is sufficient. Maybe they just gave you the 1 domain because it's a UR and 3 Fallen because it's an SR. I don't really know.
Oh, I'm going fucking insane, dude. This deck is so fucking bad.
But I want to bring up that the Delta of Invitation makes it even worse, because as soon as this is on the field, you never want to activate your Delta, which means that the Eldritch is never getting milled if you activate Domain first. You want to keep this on field to keep dumping Tistina names to get more advantage over time. Now there's 3 Breath of the Tistina, and I can't fault them for this. Breath is, in theory, a starter, but they also have so many non-normal summonable guys in this deck, as well as spells, that Breath isn't guaranteed to start your plays on its own, and there's a reason that modern lists only play the 1. It is very strong, but you don't need more than 1 copy. In fact, you don't actually get a benefit from a 2nd or 3rd copy on the field. 1 play of the Tistina. What is there to even say about 1 play of the Tistina? Play is a very good card in Tistina. That's the issue. Play is a good card, and it's very likely that you're going to want to activate more than 1 of it over the course of a duel, especially if you're using it turn 1 as an extender. This is pretty much your only way to repeatedly get Crystal God out of grave. So the fact that they only gave us 1 of it is really, really rough. And I've already spoken about the 3 Imperm. Moving on to the extra deck, a lot of this is going to be impacted by the fact that there is an Extrav in this deck, but I want to point out some strange choices, regardless. First of all, we have 2 Bamboozling Gossip Shadow. Now, Gossip Shadow is a good card. It is a very solid rank 3, and it makes sense that they give us this over, like, a Cicada King or a Totem Bird, because Cicada King can't negate Nib, and they understand that Nib is a problem for this deck, unless you play around it. And they can't really give us Totem Bird, because you might be making your rank 3 with Returned, which is not a wind monster. But I would have actually rather them given us La Virtue Dragon. I think that the interaction that we get from Virtue Stream is worth the 1 extra brick in the main deck, and it does give us some amount of follow-up. Next, there is the 3 Gustav Max. Now, a lot of my issues with this extra deck come from the cards that aren't in it, and a lot of the cards that aren't in it because they gave us an Extrav, which means that most of my issues with this extra deck actually come with the fact that there's an Extrav in the main deck. But it is correct to give us a Gustav Max. I just wish they would have given us, like, a Liba as well. 3 Divinity is really such a strange decision. I understand that they want you summoning the big Tistina rank 10, but they also didn't give us the cards that benefit from summoning the big Tistina rank 10, and that puts us in a really weird position where to do an easy OTK line off of just Domain, you actually don't go into the extra deck at all. That means that Divinity's, like, totally cuttable from the Tistina extra deck. And that's really, really disappointing, but also makes it a more confusing choice for there to be 3 of it. I really would have rather they given us, like, 2 of this and some other rank 3. 3 Varudris actually isn't a bad choice. I actually play 2 Varudris personally in pretty much every Tistina list because it is likely that you make the one turn 1 and then you want a second one to turn 3 for some extra protection on your combo line. Then there's the 2 Zeus and 2 Typhon. I don't think that Tistina needs Typhon, but I understand why they gave it to us, and I understand the Zeus because Zeus is just a good deck for an Xyz deck. So, how have I been doing with this deck? It is the only one that I've been playing in the event because I don't actually have Tistina built, and I've gotten decently far. But I would really rather play a more customized Tistina deck, and I understand that the point is to give you a taste of a new deck so that maybe you play a different one. And this is what I would play in the event if I was given the opportunity. You might notice that we are not playing Extra because that card is really not great in Tistina. Now, the thing about Tistina is it kind of has to dig into the dregs of the extra deck pool when you give it a restriction of only Xyz monsters. That's actually partially the case in Genesis as well, but because of Genesis being TCG, we do get some extra cards like Dragon Gate, which do help with the weirdness of the extra deck a little bit. I think 3 DD Crow is absolutely essential because while it's impossible for you to get paired against another Tistina player, so you're not going to be hitting the Miasma Dragon, it is possible for you to get paired against Striker. It's actually very likely that pretty much every Link deck that you're going to get paired against is Striker. You're also going to get paired against Branded very often, and Crow hits both of those decks in a very, very solid way, and it's an SR, so easy enough to craft. Of course, we have the correct ratios of every Tistina card. I really, really can't believe they gave us 1 Domain and 1 Play. You may notice the 2 Chaotic Elements. Because Chaotic Elements doesn't actually do anything on its own, we're only on the 2 of it. We are also on Discordance because very often you're actually not searching play with the Demigod effect. When you're doing your Varudris lines, you're just going to search a Discordance and have that be an extra interaction after you've resolved the Varudris. We're also on the Virtue stream for the little Virtue Dragon, because I think that a Pop 2 is a much more valuable interaction than a bad Monster Negate. We're also on a better hand trap lineup with the DD Crow. We're also on Fuelos because for some reason it's not restricted in the event at all. And moving on to the extra deck, we are on Totem Bird because these are wins, and a Spell Negate is pretty good in a format where you expect to see Striker all the time. Fortune Tune is here to go into a Zeus. Break Sword is here because it is a generally okay Xyz monster. As is Super Quantal Mech Beast Grand Pulse, just a decent rank 3. Tornado Dragon is our only rank 4 in the deck, just because I needed to kind of fill it out, and I think that backer removal is something that Tistina would like to have in the extra deck. We are on Full Armored Utopic Ray Lancer. I think permanently negating attack position monsters is a very valuable effect, and you get to walk into 2 of your opponent's monsters and make a Zeus afterwards. It's actually really good. We're also on Gangradai and Ravenous Tarantula. Honestly, these are literally only here because there aren't a ton of great rank 10s available, especially in Master Duel, where stuff that you might want to play, like Utopic Dark Future, is a UR, and I am not spending UR Dust on a card that bad. Ravenous Tarantula also does just buff up your Tistinas, so for whatever reason, if you get forced into a line where you have to play back one of your level 10s, so you can't go for the Gustav Max line to kill, but you still have Sentinel, Hound, and another level 10 on board, you can go Battle Phase. You can make this, and then this will get buffed, and then this will buff up your little guys to maybe kill your opponent if you're lucky. It's not super likely, though. We are on the 1 Divinity, and look, I know I have 3 Royals in this deck. I promise I didn't wail. We are on the 2 Varudras because I do tend to make 2 Varudras, and we are on Zeus just because Zeus is a good card. But it is kind of important for me to get some actual footage of me playing this deck, so let's go into the event and see how things go. We are back with the live Scarlon reaction.
Well, it's not live because this is also a recording.
It's live for us. You've not seen the game yet, so you know we'll play the replay for you and see, just talk about it a little bit.
So this video is like why dual triangle sucks, right? I'm curious how a single game can demonstrate that.
I just wanted to do a
Okay,
test
so this
game.
is
Most of the video is me talking about the deck list itself.
This is a good opener. This is a really good opener, actually.
I mean, you would think so. We do have full combo in the Fallen, but we also have Miasma Dragon, which is a brick. Chaotic Element is actually a good card here. And then we have Raigeki and Lightning Storm, which we can't use.
So, you see what the problem is here is that Konami is outright telling you here what you've not wanted to hear all this time, which is this is a going second deck. Why are you playing it going first? You're meant to be going second.
This is true. This is the official way to play Tistina, as sanctioned by Konami.
It's really funny as well when you consider that the best decks you'll be up against in the Fusion and Link side are Sky Striker, and then like Tier and Branded. It's like board breakers are terrible into those.
Yeah. Especially to Striker, because you're most of the time not going second into Striker. You don't have that option. So, we'll just play out our combo.
Yeah.
Now, of course, this hand, and this deck in general as well, does have an issue with getting interrupted at any point. If this is like the biggest Ash Magnet of all time. This is the biggest Crow target of all time, biggest Veiler target of all time. But we do go.
Don't worry, I know all about that.
Yeah, we do go uninterrupted. So we don't need to worry too much about that.
Yeah, I mean, you're fortunately up against the average Master Duel player, which, the equivalent of an amoeba in a fish tank.
Now, we do get to do a nice little line here, which is make Varudras before activating Demigod, so Demigod can't get ashed. However, if they had ashed the domain, we would be dead anyways, so...
Yeah.
Now,
Playing around the nib.
Yeah, it is nib protection as well. It is nice that Tistina is able to do this. So, this is 2 interactions. 3 if you count Varudras as a negate and a pop separately.
Yeah, that's not great.
Because what we're able to do is Varudras, detach Miasma, Miasma summon back, and then we get to grab Crystal God off Miasma and summon it off of play so that we have the Demigod book live. Now the issue with that is fusion decks don't care if you book their guys, and Striker is never going to allow you to resolve the Demigod book.
And you can't book links.
Yep.
Okay. So there's the fusion point. Oh, okay, it's this loner. Okay.
This is a loner?
Yeah, this is the loner. Did you not know?
I have not looked at any of the other loners, honestly. I looked at the Xyz ones. I will go with
the loner is just Dragoon Turbo with Primite. I played against this. They went Dragoon past using their entire hand. I went Galatea, I set a Crescendo past. They went first action Dragoon, I crescendoed it, and they scooped. I mean, yeah, that's average, loner deck gameplay. Finished an entire bowl of stew during that game.
This does give me a good opportunity to reiterate an issue that I bring up earlier in the video, which is Extrav does not really help this deck very much. You don't need the consistency from Extrav as long as you play 3 copies of Domain. and because of the existence of Extrav, your extra deck looks like shit. We have just Gossip Shadow as our rank 3 pool.
Konami loves putting Extrav in decks that can't fucking run it. You ever play with original branded structure?
I have activated Extrav in the original branded structure, yeah. This is also this does give us an opportunity to bring up an issue with chaotic elements, which is this does not do anything on its own. If our hand was if we just cut the breath out of this hand, we lose the game.
Yeah, but you open breath, so you're fine. This is kind of how it feels to play Memento sometimes. You open like Gaddick, Acheron, Creation, and you're like, nice. 3 vanillas, 2 of which can't even be summoned.
I love this as well. The Eldritch for Delta play, which is literally just to put a level 10 on board.
Oh, it's crazy. What do you mean? It's a free level 10.
We can't play Fallen Angel of the Golden Land, so we just don't get a rank 10 off of this.
Yeah, I think they just did not know that was why the engine was played.
The other thing is, like, we also can't do anything with the token.
I mean, it's a body, right?
To do what with? Tribute Summon Crystal God? The play that you don't do?
It could come up.
Foreshadowing is a narrative device in which suggestions or warnings about events to come are dropped or planted.
So Valor on Miasma is like very, very annoying here, but we, I believe, are able to do a little bit.
I think Varudras Pass is enough to beat most people in this event, to be honest.
Not someone with a field and sleeves. Beat a loner, maybe.
Yeah.
But we do get to end on Varudras Gossip Shadow. Never mind, we don't end on the Gossip Shadow.
Did that the second Veil? I mean, more hand trap spent on you is good, right? That less chance of good cards. See, there'd be tribute summons. You said that doesn't happen.
The idea here is like maybe they attack into
maybe
it
they out
and
it.
Die. Yeah.
No.
Maybe they just don't read.
Maybe they're Raigeki, you know?
Well, Raigeki doesn't work.
Upstart, that's a great sign. Okay, Striker.
This puts up...
Striker with the Alt-Arts. You know, I have 3 copies of Alt-Art Ray, and I don't own a copy of any of the actual URs I needed.
I
don't have
never
linkage
seen this card before.
I'm just kidding. This card's crazy. This card's really good.
Yeah, it reads very good. Unfortunately, it is getting destroyed here.
This card is why they really should not have Hornet Drones at 3, because any deck in the game could just play 3 Hornet Drones and first action make a negate. It doesn't work on Nib or whatever, because it has to be monsters on field, but it's still really good. Hello.
Hello, Faye.
Hello.
It's just talking about the event. The event sucks.
The day ending in Y.
That is true.
Events like this are always fun to me because like these events can make you feel really good about yourself as a player, because you will, especially if you're someone that plays like the good deck of a summoning mechanic like Branded, you play against a lot of people that do not have any idea how to play the deck.
Hey,
like, wow,
that's just my
I'm
life with
so
Tistina.
much better than this.
That's just my life with Tistina. Nobody knows how to play that deck except me.
But also
That's
no
not
one
true.
picks it.
There are a total of, I think, 3 good Tistina players in the world.
That's not true. You also don't know how to play this deck.
Yeah. So we're in an okay position here. We do have another Varudras in the extra. We only banished the 1, so we are able to make a second Varudras on this turn. And then, I mean, the plan here is to make Varudras and then summon Divinity to wipe their back row. So I end up making a mistake here, which is I go for this play before I've summoned Eldritch from grave, or from before I've used Eldritch effect, which is a huge mistake because it means that I can't detach Miasma from the Varudris. Because otherwise I won't be able to summon the Eldritch. So I do make a big mistake here, but we
Is
do.
this triple? Oh, it's let's see. Okay.
Yeah.
That is
So
very funny.
here's our plan going into action.
We have
Now,
a
of
second.
course-
Yeah, we just have the imperm. Yeah,
we
yeah, have it.
just-
Striking gameplay.
They just have it. They don't even need to draw cards. They haven't activated and engaged this game. Actually, I don't think that's true. I don't know if they drew off.
Yeah, they activated like 2 engages. Just lying.
Just lying. This is a cool thing. This is like the 3rd time I have ever used the chaotic elements effect. I also did it wrong. I was supposed to target the 0 here because
To force it.
it would force out the 0, which would allow me to ash them, and they wouldn't be able to use the linkage.
This video is like a bell curve examination.
What do you mean
You've
by
got
that?
well, you've got the bad players, such as Mastel players, that would not give Tistina a second look. They go, yeah, no, Tistina sucks. This deck's terrible. Why would anyone ever look at it? And they don't even pick up the loner. And then we've got the curve, where you're like, and it's you playing the deck and being like, yeah, well, actually, there's some really intricate gameplay in here and a lot of decision making, and you can describe all the things and decision making that goes on in here, and then I can come into the here and go, wow, Tistina sucks.
I appreciate that you do put yourself.
Yeah.
At the top of the curve, yeah, the intelligence. Like that.
Which of course we know is not true. So, you may notice they are not dead here.
You have the negate for engage.
It's more like Peeps is at the top going, wow, Tistina sucks.
Peeps is not at the
He's-
top.
Yeah, Peeps.
He has
unfortunately,
lead in his
self-admitted.
brain.
Peeps is in the middle saying, no, if I just resolve one more element effect.
This is true. We have not normal summoned this turn.
I see.
Oh, I see. We are tribute something to make good stuff.
Yep. This is how you close out a lot of games in Tistina, and it's very fun. I love doing this.
I think we need to ban Gustav Max, actually.
Most
I think you've got
just
enough
like-
for now. I'm gonna get another serving of
What the
stew, so I'm
fuck
done
is
for now
that?
anyway.
This is optimal, actually.
There's
Oh,
not
that's awesome.
there's not a target for this card.
So what they did is they copied their striker tenpai list over from ladder, took out all the tenpais and just missed one, and then filled it. Yeah, like 2 million%. They were like, "Oh fuck, my list is no longer 60 because I had to take out my tenpais," and they just went +1 on each striker card until it was full.
I assure you, playset of jamming waves is in fact optimal.
Say goodbye, I suppose, because I'm gonna stop recording.
Goodbye,
Subscribe
I
to
suppose.
Skull on YouTube channel.
Die.